Hello, and welcome back to Coin Lady channel. Hedge fund manager predicts $30 price if Ripple prevails in SEC lawsuit. Furthermore, I have never heard of the hedge fund manager mentioned in this piece. But yet, my ears perked up, and I'll be investigating more whether there is a hedge fund manager that will say anything like this publicly. And it's really interesting. The reasoning behind what he is saying here is also entirely convincing. The thing is, I don't pretend to know if you know whether the price range he's talking about is reasonable or not, because when you talk about XRP hitting a new all-time high, like something like that, like those types of runs, they have never happened without Bitcoin leading the way. So, if he's correct, and maybe he is right, if it's that significant for the crypto world. I can't say for certain. To be honest, I have no idea. Perhaps it persists in any case. But $30? My goodness. Let me tell you something, if XRP ever reaches $30 and I don't sell any, I will be richer than God. So, I know many of you listening are in the $5 to $7 price range, where I would be unloading significantly. That's too low, you could think, rolling your eyes. Okay, wait a second. There is no such thing as every man for himself, my friends. I put much more money into XRP than the average person will ever put in, and I did it early on so that I could cash out when the price was lower. If I put in less effort, I'll have to wait longer to achieve my goal. Because of this, I may be leaving money on the table, but it's a calculated risk I'm willing to take in order to achieve my own goals. However, before we go any further, there is something I'd like to clarify. I come from a completely monetary background-free background. Nothing I say or write should be taken as recommendations to purchase or sell any security. Just a hobbyist here that occasionally posts films to YouTube on various crypto-related topics. By the way, I'm going to read the piece, and he does say that this might happen within the next few months, but this is because he's referring to the resolution of the SEC versus Ripple lawsuit. You should see the new video I uploaded tonight, though, since an executive director who is also an attorney believes, and, by the way, is against, Ripple that we will have finality in the matter within days. That's worth looking into, so do so. I find it intriguing. Yet, let us go to investigate this further. If Ripple is successful, the XRP price may rise to $30, according to the headline on FX Street. Separate action. A manager at a hedge fund has speculated that the release of the Hinman documents could temporarily drive the price of XRP up to $30. In an interview a few months before a pivotal judgment, Kralo Capital founder and manager Thomas Kralo argues that he believes the Ripple coin is a security. That, then, is not specific enough. Even if the judge has the authority to make whatever decision they deem appropriate, the charges do not reflect the reality of the situation. If you look at the SEC's charges against Ripple and Brad and Chris, you'll see that's not how it's phrased at all. And a couple months is just a guess at this point. As I was saying, a man I dated in the past who used to play in the Southeastern Conference recently told me that it will all be over in the next few days. That's what he thinks, anyway. He's only guessing, but he thinks that's what's going on. Anyway, we are still at peace. Speculation among XRP holders has been heightened by the revelation of the Hinman documents on Tuesday, a crucial part of the legal struggle between the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission and Ripple, and the reaction of the company's legal team. At its current price of 48 cents, XRP is also undervalued according to several altcoins on-chain indications. When this was being written, I'd like to explore this area a little further down. Yeah. Okay. For this reason, the SEC case against Ripple, the payments giant, has a significant impact on the value of XRP. As a result, the XRP investor community closely follows the news to learn the future course of the altcoin. That makes a lot of sense, so yeah. The XRP price, in my opinion, is being depressed artificially. Since XRP is the only top 10 crypto that didn't hit a new all-time high in 2018, and since it also happens to be getting attacked by the SEC, I think we would have witnessed a new all-time high in 2021 if it weren't for the SEC. I don't think we would have missed it, and I do believe it's being artificially stifled now. I agree with the idea that once this is over, if the news is good for XRP, people will just rock it, even if Ripple officially loses. I simply cannot. No. Maybe I'm wrong, you know what I mean. And the value of XRP just plummets. Until we hear otherwise, I just can't see that happening. Personally, I find it quite unlikely that would occur. And then, he wrote some stuff over here, too. What the heck? This low. Thomas Carlo, manager of a crypto hedge fund at Carlo Capital, told the street that these developments could spark additional speculation, pushing the price of XRP higher within the next 3 to 4 months. Using Google Trends data, Carlo commented on the increasing number of people trading cryptocurrencies. The number of Google searches for XRP has doubled in the past month, indicating surging demand from investors around the globe. Metrics like that are fantastic, by the way. In just 1 month, XRP's search volume has doubled. That's interesting, and it makes sense given the recent uptick in signups for the service. I find the on-chain data most illuminating in this case, but one can also observe a rise in price and demand. This increase occurred in March, following the release of the news that the Hinman records would be made public and the judge's order about the expert witnesses. About a month or a month and a half ago, I would say. Timeframe? Early May, probably. It's possible I'm wrong about that, but memory isn't always reliable. However, regardless of when this occurred, XRP's value subsequently rose. For good reason, these are seen as optimistic and favorable developments for XRP. So, here's some words from Carlo, the hedge fund's creator. He was quoted as saying, "Right now we're seeing massive speculative narratives around Ripple, which might lead to a major price increase for XRP in the next 3 to 4 months, potentially sending its value to anywhere from $10 to $30. Quote ends. Okay. This is an optimistic outlook. Some assertiveness is fine with me. To be honest, my doubts begin at the upper bound of that range. And I guess I'm wondering if Bitcoin will be running when this happens, and if so, would it be the perfect storm for XRP to reach a new all-time high? That's a possibility too, I suppose. But gosh, I'd love to see that's going to improve the lives of so many people. The likelihood of such happening is uncertain. But if that occurs, and as far as I'm mentioning 3 to 4 months, I think he was merely guessing that by that time the litigation would be over. However, I do not anticipate it taking more than 4 months. Brad Garlinghouse was indicating a couple of weeks ago that we're more likely talking about weeks than months. And that's not all either. Watch the video, because the explanation and the debate around it are worth your time. But the ex-Southeastern Conference player said it will happen probably within days. Well, after that, this happened. In the past 30 days, the price of XRP on Binance has increased by 15.32%, from 41 cents to 48 cents. According to Crelo, more market activity is possible based on data from Google Trends. A bullish $30 per token aim is set for the following 3 to 4 months. And once more, far earlier than that. If his prediction comes true, it will occur much sooner. If the case is resolved the way the former SEC employee expects it to be. According to Crelo Capital's manager and founder, 2 things will determine whether or not XRP's rally succeeds over the next 3 months. The second one is the initial public offering of Ripple, about which I can tell you nothing. Of course, I won't pretend to know exactly when it might occur. Nonetheless, I am aware that it is possible that it will occur this year. Remember that Ripple went on a short tour, or something similar. Eleanor Turret, a Fox Business reporter, was the first to report the story. We just learned that it occurred recently. They are really, soliciting significant possible investors, and that probably started in April. That's a pretty good sign that something's going to happen around here, if you're into that sort of thing. You only get one chance at something like that, so I have no idea what the thought behind this was like internally. And they've already completed the task. They fired a volley of shots. The discussion is over. It will either happen and go smoothly, or good luck, because it looks like it will be challenging. I'll still argue that I don't think Ripple even has to win, even if they get a technical loss, because of the second aspect I said that he references here, knowing if Ripple defeats the SEC. What I think market players will care about is whether or not XRP has a future. And I might be totally incorrect. I'm just guessing like everyone else. But that makes complete sense to me logically. What the hell does the ordinary XRP holder care about Ripple's technical loss if XRP is going to be secure in the United States? They certainly don't intend any harm to come to Ripple. I own XRP because I like Ripple and believe that the majority of others share this opinion. But, on a more individual level, does it really matter? The short answer is no, that's the answer. So, let me just say this. So, let's see how this plays out. However, the possibility of it happening is intriguing. I should add this, too. I'd like to share the first paragraph of an article by Cointelegraph chart analyst Rakesh Upadhyay, since it relates to a topic I discussed at length in a video I posted the day before. BlackRock is reportedly filing, or has already filed, for a Bitcoin exchange-traded fund, which is a huge development in the industry. I won't go through everything I said in my video from yesterday, but there are a few things I'd want to add here. Ricochet summed up the situation near the $25,000 price point for Cointelegraph. Buyers and sellers are locked in a fierce battle for control of the Bitcoin market. The fact that BlackRock has applied to launch a Bitcoin spot exchange-traded fund did little to increase prices is a mild source of concern for the bulls. The regulatory overhang may be keeping investors wary, as evidenced by this. Well, I should probably pause to mention that he also authored this. About 5 hours ago, I got this. Bitcoin is currently valued at $26,371 at the time of this recording. Therefore, it has been gradually increasing ever since. It has gained 3.2% in the last 24 hours. I felt compelled to bring it up. However, he continues, this is not to say that institutional investors have given up on cryptocurrency investment. 90% of respondents to April's Laser Digital Investor Survey of institutional investors indicated they would consider investing in cryptocurrency if it were backed by a major traditional financial institution. What do you think? I know, right? Take note of how everything has coincided. 82% of those polled were optimistic about crypto's future over the next year, which is encouraging. So, look, I just wanted to bring out that while we are likely to get positive news about XRP in general, we may not get good news regarding the SEC v Ripple case, in which case the war will continue and we will basically have a sad day and the price will probably collapse. That's what I think, at least. In any case, but I'm hopeful. We should hear something positive. You can see BlackRock making a move there. And even if you find that business to be the very embodiment of evil, I won't be delving into that here. But even if you do, it's hard to overstate the significance of this because of the inevitable increase in interest and investment in crypto as a result. They manage more money than any other asset manager in the entire universe. I'm going off of memory here, but I believe I wrote about this back in the last quarter. I heard that the amount of assets managed was around $9.5 trillion. Past 3 months. It was on the level of something totally ridiculous. I was planning on tweeting about it yesterday, so that's major news. I also wouldn't be surprised if they were given the green light. So, I figured I'd include them in this BlackRock-related video. Will Clement, an expert in the field, has said as much. The approval of BlackRock's spot ETF proposal, he added, would prove beyond a reasonable doubt that Operation Choke 2.0 was planned in advance. In an effort to exert control over Bitcoin and similar cryptocurrencies, it is necessary to displace crypto-native enterprises with major traditional firms that are buddies with the US government. Yes, I do believe it to be true. It wouldn't shock me if something like this occurred. My best bet is that BlackRock will be granted permission to do so. What transpires, transpires. That's just an idle assumption on my part. And Attorney Deaton has been vocal about this issue for what seems like years now. For a few years, to put it plainly. It's designed to safeguard the status quo. This, likewise, is the case here. Grayscale, the company that created the Bitcoin Trust, has been working to turn its product into an exchange-traded fund (ETF). The SEC continues to reject them. Last but not least, Grayscale has filed a lawsuit against the SEC in an effort to counter their efforts. And so, at this point in time, you may observe BlackRock's entry. That's fascinating. In addition, I'd like to emphasize the following. This was also demonstrated by Will Clement. I, too, have spread the word. Take a look at that headline from CNBC, written 6 years ago, in 2017. Bitcoin, according to Larry Fink, CEO of BlackRock, is a measure of illicit funds. You're going to adore this material. You really have to like this sort of thing. They have to grow to like it. And then they figure out a way to cash in on it. Because XRP and cryptocurrency are here to stay, skeptics will come around. Cryptography is here to stay, without a doubt. I'm as sure as a coin toss about it. XRP is here to stay as well. And so it dawns on them. They arrived a bit late to the party, but at least they're here now. Nick Carter, a well-known crypto expert, has also provided an insight. Since he is a sensible net front, he despises XRP. But I am joking around. But, no, XRP is not his cup of tea. But in this case, he is correct. Take a look. I find that to be a very novel viewpoint. Anyway, he wrote while knowing nothing about the subject matter at all. My take on the BlackRock ETF filing is as follows. The SEC is feeling the heat from the industry's recent attacks and wants to give it a perceived win by opening the door to the grown-ups, aka traditional finance, after having previously defamed crypto-native firms through various enforcement actions. Those links are real, so no one should be surprised if BlackRock said, "Hey, if we're going to do this, maybe start moving on it right now." Therefore, I believe that to be a plausible assumption. I'm not trying to change anyone's mind about BlackRock, all I'm saying is this. It seems certain that the market bottom has already been reached, barring some unexpected development. The event took place in the month of November. The case between the SEC and Ripple is coming to a close. Even though there has been a brief malaise over the last several days, whatever it was, and there has been some negative price action, especially with legal happening, etc., we are still generally trending upwards, and BlackRock has joined the party. I believe it to be true nonetheless, though. The cryptocurrency industry is booming, and while I don't offer price forecasts, it's a thrilling moment to be involved. I have no idea what will happen, but I have high hopes for the future. Let me preface this by saying that I am not a financial expert. Nothing I've written or said should influence any purchases you make. Please like and subscribe my channel. See you in the next video, bye.